Just as I decided to start recording, um, after like 3 years or whatever, one of the neighbor's dogs on the other side of the complex started barking really loud and consistently, and then the baby upstairs started crying, and I was like, "Oh yeah, we're back, baby." Um, Hello. I have decided that it's time. I think the world is ready for a white boy to talk about his opinions on the new Pokemon. I hope you're ready. This is going to be a quicker video than I've done in the past on previous like design topics, partially because I could not be bothered to get my tablet out, which is not currently set up because I've been drawing on my phone for a long time now. Um, and partially because I don't really get that much to say, but I just kind of wanted to talk about them. I also realized that there's spoilers underneath this one. I moved it up to this frame so that the spoilers would be hidden, but they're down there. But I'm just gonna go down this list real quick and kind of talk about each one, which is like, kind of the whole idea of anyway. Um Generally like I didn't really I never made videos on like basically anything from the past couple games. And not because I didn't have anything to say, but I just didn't feel like making videos. I don't know why I feel like making this one. But these it's kind of like it's a real mixed bag this time around. I think more recently in like I really liked Gen 8's designs, and that includes Legends Arceus. There were a couple of the regional variants in Legends Arceus that were a little bit iffy, but for the most part, they were all really on the ball, I think. And like especially Hisui and Samurott kind of like fixed all my problems with Samurott. Um, so like those were good, and Gen 9 Pokemon were good. So I think we're only just now getting into the range of Pokemon where I'm starting to think that like they've lost the zhuzh a little bit. The Jenny Sequa is starting to fall off a little, but there's still good ones in here. I'm still happy with a couple of these. I'm not going to be playing this game because I don't think it looks very good, but that kind of has its own benefits because now when people call me a shill for this series, I can go like, well, look, I didn't play this one. But anyway, let's continue. Or let's begin rather. So, I'll zoom in on some of these, but I mean, we've all seen Mega Dragonite. Mega Dragonite, I think, is good. A lot of people think that the wings look stupid, but like Dragonite kind of looks stupid if you think about it. It's a recurring problem with a couple of these is there's like a couple of things I'm going to be saying about these. One is that it's like what would you do if someone said draw a Mega Dragonite? Um like that's so what would you do if somebody said draw this Pokemon, right? That's one sort of like genre we're going to have here. Another genre is Gen 5 ROM hack slop, um, which is not this, but this is definitely someone said draw a Mega Dragonite, and the guy in the design room said like he put on his design cap and he said, "You got it, boss." Um, because in concept, I think everybody kind of came up with the same idea of like, what if it was more like Dragonair? But it's not necessarily bad. I think that they did enough little things here and there to like make it distinct without making it too much. Because that's if you go look up like megas of any of these Pokemon, fan designs are always too much. Like 100% of the time, they're like, how can I turn this into Skull Greymon or whatever? Like, and I using Digimon as a pejorative is not something that I do often or that I think is like appropriate really, because there's a lot of good Digimon and there's a lot of bad Digimon, and there's like mostly good Pokemon and there's some not as good Pokemon. But like, Digimon cover a wide range of like they're not all like rabbit with guns attached to them, except for that one definitely is, but you have something like Skull Greymon that's like way, way, way complex to look at. It's very not what a Pokemon would look like. And I feel like that's the sort of thing that, like, when Pokemon fans go, "No, I got this, bro. Put me in, coach." They always like massively overdo it. So this is like, it's like subdued but not boring. Um, the A lot of people exaggerate like the wings coming out of the top of the head, or that like nothing is different about it. Like the horn's a little different. The wings are where the antenna come from, so that's cool. And then the little wings in the back are the only thing where like I think that they're, I'm not gonna bother to go find a better picture, but I think that they're blue like on both sides, whereas like on regular Dragonite, I believe that they're like his scale color, like the orangey yellow kind of color on the back, like Charizard's wings. I'm pretty sure. Um, if Even if they're not, I think that would be like better because they look kind of weird just being blue. Because I don't think they're orange in the back, but like I said, I'm not really keen to find better pictures. But I guess I could skim real quick. Not that this would show me, but there's a bar. Do you guys know there's a bar? Uh, where the hell is he in the list? Okay, here he is. Yeah, you can't see here either. I don't know, but yeah, generally generally good. I like it. Powered up the Pokemon's feelings of kindness. It kills them with mercy in his heart. Anyway, so that's Mega Dragonite. Mega Dragonite's pretty cool. I guess I should just uh, do this for all of these. I should have done this beforehand, but whatever. So next up we have Mega Victory Bell. I don't really like Mega Victory Bell, but like, I guess there isn't really a but. I guess it's just I don't really like this guy that much. It, it's This one isn't even like what would you do with a Mega Victory Bell. This one kind of felt like they put it on the lists of like megas to make, and then like either ran out of time or couldn't come up with nothing, because there really is not anything going on with this. Like, it's a pitcher plant that's full of goop, which is kind of like what Victory Bell is, and also what pitcher plants are. So, I mean, I also don't know if he's supposed to be smiling or frowning, but because his eyes are underneath, he looks like the happy smiler to me. Um, and like, it's like funny, but like the mouth gets so much smaller than regular Victory Bell. I did pull up a list. Oh yeah, I have it here too. The Wikipedia list. I guess this is good. Spoilers for other ones. This is all spoilers, so you should probably be aware of that. Yeah, see, Dragonite has the orange on his wings there, and he doesn't. Okay, so these pictures are perfect. Yeah, so regular Dragonite has orange on the tops of the wings. Mega Dragonite does not, and it looks kind of weird. But I like his eyes turning blue, which I hadn't really noticed before. But yeah, Mega Dragonite good. Moving on. Um, don't worry about this guy yet. We'll get to him. But yeah, so the happy smiler, who I think is kind of supposed to be frowning, but it comes off like the happy smiler. But like, regular Victory Bell's mouth is huge because he's like a pitcher plant, which, I mean, I, not to sound like a broken record, but I mean that's what he is. There's nothing much else to him, and there's nothing much else to this. But I think the old one looks a lot better than the new one, and the new one could look better if the mouth was still like big, or if they had done something completely different with it. So yeah, nothing much else to say about this. Oh no, don't worry about that yet. Okay. So we got Mega Halucha next. This is another one that's like, hey, make a Mega Halucha. And they did. So the thing is that this one, it kind of falls in the category of like there's not a ton different about it. These are not in order here right now. They're in dex order. There's not like a ton different about it, but it's they basically like turned, this is like a showing of my lack of knowledge of lucha, to be fair, but I feel like this is more of like how Japanese luchadores look, like the over the top head and shoulders mask kind of thing, like Jushin Thunder Liger. So that's cool. I'm sure that there are Spanish luchadores that look like this, But I mean, he's a bird, so just adding new feathers basically. Like the mask looks like a mask, which has been kind of a recurring issue where like Yaskarada kind of has that where like it doesn't really look like part of the Pokemon, which like Machamp was wearing a belt and stuff, so it's not like necessarily a bad thing. And he looks cool, so that's basically all that matters. But uh that's basically it. Like they made him like more of a luchador. So moving on, we have Mega Malamar, which I think is like if it's not the best one, it's definitely one of the best ones. We got Megamind looking ass over here. Um, Most original thought a YouTuber's had so far, I'm sure. But happy Pride, everyone! If you watch this in Pride Month, it's just this one is also not much to say, but it's just good, like because it's freaky, and that's like Malamar's a freaky guy, so just make him freakier. But they did it in like a good way. I don't know how to quantify it really, but thin, lanky, creepy, spooky is another synonym for all that. Good one. Mega Delphox. This is where we get into the Gen 6 starters, which I don't think they nailed perfectly because they all kind of had the same problem. I guess I can just get them on here kind of as well. Like they all kind of share the same issue where it's like again, it's kind of the same Pokemon but with some stuff on them. Like I, it's Delphox, but it's got a beard and then it's got black parts on its fur. And oh shit, sorry, I did take a drink of water. Yeah, it's just Delphox with some black fur on it. I don't know. Chestnut's the best of the three, I think, because they did something with him. But it's also like, why is his feet the same? Like his feet and tail and arms like are basically all the same. Like his shoulder pads changed a little, and he got the cape, but and his beard got bigger. But for the most part, like it's kind of the same, but a little different. This one's kind of the same, but a little different. Greninja is kind of the same, but a little different. The idea of Greninja where it's like both that he's doing the ninja thing where he sticks to the ceiling and the ninja thing where he stands on water, though that's kind of cool. But and like he looks cool, but I don't know, man. It just I don't know what I would have done with it other than my thought with it was and not to be like I'm gonna fix the Pokemon design because I also don't think this is a fix. I think it would be really bad. But if they had turned his tongue into like a hood, also, if it had wrapped up over his head like a ninja hood, which would have looked horrendous. But that's like the only thing when I briefly thought about it because I was like I don't really like because with all of these I kind of like I don't really like it, but what would I have done? And like I don't really know. I'm sure I could come up with something for Delphox if I spent the time. This is probably what Mega Chestnut should look like. Chestnut, I think, is not like a beloved design for the most part. I'm sure that he's got shooters, but like I came around on him a little bit when I realized that he's supposed to be wearing like a bomb suit. But like I don't know, man. Like I don't know, man. So anyway, moving on. We got Mega Clefable, who don't worry about that guy down there. This one they kind of like it's been a long time since Gen 1 and I think they kind of like forgot about the whole space alien angle and they went harder on the fairy angle, which I don't know if you noticed, but this is Clefable and not Clefairy, even though it's a fairy type. But oh sorry, my throat sorry, my throat's dry as shit for some reason and I'm not editing this. Um I don't hate it. I kind of like it. Like I like the floppy ears and the poofy like hat things kind of cute. And I like the gradient wings. I haven't seen it in game, so I don't know if their wings are like sparkly or anything like that, but this one is like weird cuz it's like not really like I don't know why they would choose to do a Mega Clefable in the first place, and this isn't necessarily how I think it should look. But at the same time, I'm kind of like it's cute, so who care, essentially. But no other real feelings on that because I saw this yesterday. I saw like most of these in the leak that happened, and then this like the ones that weren't in the leak I saw like 12 hours ago basically. So I don't have like fully formed thoughts on a couple of these. Like this one is like, but again, that's kind of the problem I'm having with a lot of these. Just that I'm like whatever. Like this one's whatever on the positive side, but it's still kind of like whatever. Mega Starmie, this one is funny, and it's one of those ones that I think like the first reaction to it is that it's funny, and then as the years goes on, as the years go on, I think that we're all gonna have the feeling of like I wish they had done something a little more with it. But the more like seeing the model with its color and stuff on it instead of just the grayscale like stolen one. I don't know if this is a physical attacker. I would have to assume it probably is. But like turning Starby into a Cactuar is like the only other option really to go with it would be to like add more star points to it, which would make it look stupid in like a fan design. So this one being like kind of dumb in like turning him into Patrick Star, I think might have been the right decision just because otherwise it's like I haven't Googled Mega Starmie, but if you Google Mega Starmie, I bet all the fan designs are horrid. So yeah, I hope he's a physical attacker. I could look, but I'm not going to right now. Mega Meganium, I am a fan. I think it's funny that they made him a grass fairy type. I just noticed that right before I started recording this, because in Pokemon Sea Glass, he's a grass fairy type, which is a great game by the way. Um, but so I'm kind of like almost surprised that they did that because they like because everybody always has like the Luxray should be an electric dark type or they should make a mega Luxray that's electric dark. Like they don't normally electric dark. They don't normally like the player base, fan base, and like ROM hackers don't always see eye to eye with the actual team. I don't know if anyone's noticed this, but so yeah, I'm just kind of like that's interesting. Um, this is another one where there's like not a lot to it. They just put a bunch of flowers on him, but I like him. He has such a jovial spirit about him, and he's green, but he's got the flowers. I mean, there's nothing else to say. He's he's got little like cuffs on, little pants on. How would a Meganium wear pants like this or like this? Really makes you think. But yeah, I like him. He's good, I guess. he's I imagine that when he uses solar beam in the anime, it's gonna look crazy. Now, so there's two of these that I cannot believe are real. This is the first one, mainly because like, and actually like I should have pulled up another picture for this. I may have to pause again and pull up another picture, but like I'm gonna do that real quick. Hold on. Okay, so this is like I hope that I don't have to do too much legwork to convey this. Don't worry about those guys. This design is both like too much and not enough because when you look at him, he's for alligator and he's got some knee pads on and like the extra little patches look good, but otherwise he's largely for alligator except he's got these extra spikes on his arms. Then he's got this big ugly mushy thing on top of him, like on the back of his neck that is attached by some kind of hinge. And then he's got these weird spikes coming out of his like flanks, right? And so the way this works is that the arms form a lower jaw and then the thing on the back turns in is like a big top half of a skull and then these little stumps look like for Totodile's arms and so he turns into like a big Totodile and I think it just does not work at all. Like this is trying way too hard to for something. especially because like the teeth and like the arm spikes don't even line up if you look at them. Like I'm not this one does not vibe with me at all. But the reason I'm like I can't believe it's real because the concept is like the concept of putting a big like alligator skull around his head, kind of like a I don't know what to compare it to other than like Valhazak having like a dragon skull around his dragon skull. Like that's fine. Just giving a big fucked up mouth that lets him crunch stuff better. That makes sense. But the fact that when you look at the model from the front, like they got to the end of making this, and in the decks when you look at it, it's just this big ugly mushy like it looks like an unfinished model underneath, and they're just like that's good. And when you look at like the silhouette is totally fucked too. Like when you do a who's that Pokemon, like I'd love to see the like those Gen 5 drawings of like what people thought Oshawott was gonna look like based on the silhouette. Like please do some fan art of what the silhouette of this translates to, because it's just like what is going on with the like how is it attached to the back? Is this like a rubbery kind of like I don't know, man. It's just this one. This is the like I said, this is the one that I saw and I was like, are you for real? There's another one I think is worse. I think there is like a worst one of these that we'll come across, but but man, don't worry about those guys yet. So anyway, Mega Skarmory. Mega Skarmory is kind of hard to. This is another one that's kind of hard to convey, but if besides the feet and the fact that he's just Lelo, like the head actually looks cool. I guess I could look that one up real quick too as well. When you go to pause the recording and almost hit start streaming. So you can see like the his head is like cool looking because if you don't look at Skarmory a lot, you might not notice it specifically, and it's not that different. But the little feathers coming out the back of his head is cool, and this little like outcropping for his eye is cool. And turning the eye red, the armor yellow, and these segments black, he's got like this kind of like it's like a Dark Knight kind of vibe to him, even though he's like golden. And I don't know what's going on with his tail, but like generally speaking, like I think it's cool. Like if this was an evolution or a regional variant for Skarmory, that would be pretty sick. The confusing part is the feet, and I spent a little bit of time thinking about it, and I really just don't have an explanation for the feet. They look normaler in this image where he's horizontal because you can see that they're actually thinner than they look in this image. I guess they look pretty thin if you look at this one, but yeah, I really just don't know. Leave in the comments or I'll figure it out tomorrow and then I'll be annoyed because everyone's leaving it in the comments and I'll be like, I know I asked, but I know. Oh, sorry, you can't even see the feet on this image. I can't really like move it at all, so you'll just have to believe me. But you can see the feet here. Like the feet are fucked up. But yeah, I don't really know what's going on with all that, but I mean it's like fine, but it could just not exist and that would be fine too, basically. So moving on, don't worry about those. This one, however, now I know you guys are gonna just say, Yubari, you're a gooner, so it makes sense that you'd be into this one. But this one, so there, I do have one major problem with this one, which could be like a knowledge gap for me now that I think about it. But she has like a collar up here around the neck. I was just checking to make sure my cursor was showing. I think it's been showing on and off, but down here, the below the obi sort of thing, um, there's this line that looks like the bottom of regular Froslass, that the dress part, like the Hina doll kimono part, is coming out of. I If I were doing this, I would have removed that so it doesn't look like just stuff coming out of the bottom of a regular Froslass, because that's kind of like it's kind of weird that the line is still there. And if I draw this, I'm probably gonna leave that line out. But other than that, like it's just so cool. Like it is like, what would you do with Mega Froslass? Is like, she's a Yukiona, so make her more of a Yukiona. Like, there's nothing crazy creative about it, but it just looks good to me. The hair's cool, the horns are cool, the eyes get a little thinner, a little more menacing looking, perhaps. Tall, uh, snow. It's good. The dress reminds me of like Urusei Yatsura a little bit also, of like what's her face Yuki from that. I assume is her name. I can't remember for sure, but I assume because she's the snow lady. But good one, good one. I like it. Good one. Embor is, they made him longer. They stretched him out a little bit. It feels like, where they just moved his pants down a little bit. I'm not sure, but uh, my I don't really, I don't have 100% certainty on the concept here. I My first instinct was like terracotta warrior type of thing, like or like the kind of statue that like Mario turns into in Mario 3. But some kind of Chinese warrior thing going on here, which is like cool, but also like not at all what I thought they were gonna do with Mega Embor. I thought they would make him wider rather than more vertical. I like the like Lord Xenon Devilman face armor kind of thing going on is cool, but the spear, like, this is one of those Gen 5 ROM hack kind of things where it's like this fire does not have physical mass, so it doesn't really read well as like a weapon. So, and like also Embor is like a big dumb pig. Like, he's a big boar with big boar hands. And so I don't really see him as like a dexterous sort of warrior exactly. Like, this one should have ended up more like Mega Swampert in my IMO. But again, like, it's, I mean, part of all this is that like I don't plan on playing this game, so I don't feel like super strongly about this, but like, like with, I was saying the other day with Starmie, like, if I felt more strongly about all this, like if I cared more, I would probably be a little bit annoyed that like Mega Starmie is not that interesting, or that a lot of these aren't that interesting. But I don't, it's not like a huge deal to me. So, but just strange, not necessarily bad, but just kind of strange, I guess. Maybe once I see it in motion, it'll own. But that's also the other thing with all these, is that, and like a lot of Pokemon designs as of late, is that they seem to be designed with like the model and how they're gonna move in mind, and so like they don't really read well when you look at 2D images of them. But like, if you've been into Pokemon for a long time, the 2D images were like a lot of what was cool about the old Pokemon. And I'm not even just talking about like the sprite poses, but like the portrait artwork, the Sugimori art, but even beyond Sugimori's time, like, the artwork for the Mega Evolutions back then, like, they got cracked silhouettes, man. Like, even the ones that I don't really like Mega Salamence, like, the silhouettes are like out of this world, man. Like, look at these guys. And even Mega Sableye, who is like, because Mega Sableye was kind of the one that I was gonna reference a lot for a lot of these. Like, for I don't know if we've passed one yet. I guess like Mega Victory Bell, where it's like there's not really much different. Like, Mega Sableye, there's not really much different, but what is different is cool. And like, I don't know, like, his ability's cool. I guess we're not really judging abilities on these newer ones, but if Mega Sableye is the weakest of the original Mega designs, just by virtue of not really being that different, because like Mega Garchomp and Lucario, like, even Bayonet, which is like a, like, who cares about Bayonet generally? Like, Manectric is kind of stupid looking, but over time he's really grown on me, and part of that is because like this artwork is really nice, you know. But we don't really get artwork no more. We get posed 3D models, which like it is art, but like, you know what I mean? Like, Like I think that so part of what turned me around on Mega Dragon Knight was fan art basically, which is like fair because it's still the same design. I think Mega Mega Aerodactyl's also not incredible, but like with fan art you can like, or with, you know, with 2D art you can emphasize the parts that you want people to see, you want to be emphasized, whereas the model has to be a little bit more uniform because it's going to be moving around, it's going to be seen at different angles and stuff. And that's why using techniques like they do in, you know, Arxis games where they stretch the model and stuff, like morph it to fit the camera angle at the time, like that stuff is great. But and like these aren't fair because these are just like people's, like this is like screenshots from the decks probably in the game, so like this doesn't tell you any, like the Meganium one doesn't tell you anything about what the actual Meganium design looks like. And like the this one, the Feraligatr one, is even maybe a little misleading. You might think it looks cooler than it does based off this, but like the Skarmory and like these ones, these read well like at a glance as a box icon. But yeah, like if these were artwork, you could like compare them better. I don't know. I don't. Does anyone know what the fuck I'm trying to say? I'm just rambling. I literally just woke up and started recording, so I'm sorry about all this, but you know, whatever. We're also like already half an hour in. I expected this to be done in half an hour. Mega Excadrill sucks. I think Excadrill sucks. In general, I think Excadrill's not like a great Pokemon. He just, because I look at him and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I just don't like this guy. He's not like the worst Pokemon ever, but I'm just like what is the game plan here, right? For regular Excadrill. Like the is the red dot supposed to look like an eye, I guess, but then like the claw, why the claw marks on his chest. I just don't really like Excadrill, generally speaking. And Mega Excadrill is like, what if regular Excadrill was stupid as fuck, essentially. Um, so moving on. Mega fucking Scolipede. Need I say any more? This one kind of it falls into the same vein as like Mega Dragonite, where it's using parts of the previous evolution, and like for Alligator did that too. But the armor is like Whirlipede colored and themed, sort of. Um, and it just looks so cool. And his big iron crown horns, like this to me reads like, and I don't remember the fellow's name, but the guy who did the he did Mega Beedrill and uh Cerulege and Armarouge, uh the Mega Man artist who did a bunch of megas and other good Pokemon designs. He's responsible for the Sneasler, which is not, I used to be a Sneasler hater, but I've come around on Sneasler a lot over the past like year or two. But that guy knows what the fuck he's doing, and I feel like this might be the only one he worked on, if he worked on this. I don't know that this is the same guy because I don't think we know anything about any of like who made what. But if I had to guess, I would assume that in a little while we're going to find out that that artist whose name I forget, who made Corviknight, probably did this one, because this one is like way above and beyond I think all of the other ones. Like even though I like Mega Froslass, it's just really good. And there's nothing to it other than it just looks cool. Like the just the lines are good. The silhouette is good. Like you're starting from a better, a higher platform, because Scolipede itself is like, I think I've come around to maybe it might be my favorite Gen 5 design. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I struggle to find anything else to say except for look how fucking badass it is. Same with Scrafty. I like this one a lot, but and I like that. I just noticed there's like he's got like a horn underneath the thing holding his hood up. But the more I look at it, the more I'm like, I think it's referencing something specific, but I don't know what it is. But I mean, because I think I've seen like there's like street performer groups maybe from like the 80s that had like the all white fit going on. But either way, like it just, again, there's like nothing to it, but it's kind of cool looking. So I think that's all I had to say about him. I would give this one a boom for sure. I should have been boom or dooming all of these, but this is a boom. This is a boom. This Excadrill's a doom for sure. Um, Mega Electros I think is also a boom. I think so it's like the, I think it's the Children's Day like koi like streamer thingy where like the Japanese like flagpole with the koi flags coming off of it that blow in the wind. I think that's the general idea of this. But I I don't know that they like nailed whatever they were going for, but I didn't have like an immediate like negative reaction to it. Noticing, I thought it was like an unfinished model issue when I saw the leak before, but the plus and minus on the fake Electros heads or electric heads or whatever. Yeah, they're supposed to be they're fake electrics, I think the Dex says about it. And they're made of mucus, which is nasty, but they look like clouds. So he's like a wind streamer thing. They look like clouds. The plus and minus because polarity, because electric types. Did you know about that? Uh and then he's got some more like markings on his face. I don't know if maybe the if I can find him in this scroll here. Oh, well, there he is. Perfect. Nope, can't see it any better, but it's got some extra markings on the side of his head. It looks cool. The back half of him is all like mucus cloud stuff, kind of looking, reminds me of Basculegion a little bit. So, like I said, I don't know if I don't know if it's like perfectly realized, but I think that the concept is cool and I like how it looks generally. And also it's just like the hands, its hands turning into other heads because they already kind of look like that a little bit. uh, it's all right, it's cool. I would give it a boom. Chandelure, this was okay, well, I have to keep that next one hidden a little bit. Chandelure is again, guy walked in the office, said make a mega chandelier. Artist said say less, make him a bigger chandelier. I mean, what more can you say? What I mean, can't argue with results, right? I think it's fine. It does look like Chandelure with like some extra stuff attached to the bottom. The crown is cool. He's bigger. So now let's discuss. I mean, I don't know what there is to discuss. I'm gonna open a new tab. This is the worst. I hesitate to say, I don't know if I should say, because I haven't seen, I can't find a side view of it to see what's going on with like the wispy pants and stuff and like the feet tufts and all that. But this is not good. Like Pyroar in general has got to be one of the most fumbled Pokemon. Where like regular Pyroar is just really boring. Like the specific brown they chose for his body, or their for the for both, it's just like the specific browns they picked for the fur on their body like lulls me to sleep, and then the reds and yellows of the mane are like too much, like they're too bright on the regular design. I don't know if I can even find this dude on here. These are other areas. Like the regular Pyroar designs are just like body is boring. There's nothing going on with the head at all. The mane on the male one is like, I get it, it's the fire kanji, but like it looks not good. And then the female one is just like they like it's like fire. Did you get it? But like it doesn't look like anything. And so then we get to this one and it's like, what if it was the like the traditional Chinese like, or I don't even know. I know there's a different fire kanji that's like two stacked on top of each other, and like surprise, it's the fire kanji, but it's the two stacked on top of each other version. It's just not good, and it looks like really bad. I don't know if that's just me, but like maybe I'm getting old, but it's really bad. This was the one that I said like there was two I couldn't believe looked the way they did. It's for alligator and this one are like I'm still kind of in disbelief, but I was really hoping that they were gonna like fix Pyroar the way that I feel that Hisui and Samurott fixed Samurott, but it does not appear to be the case. Eternal Floet. Um, oh shit, I saw another guy down there. We still got a couple to go. Mega Dragalge is like what if Dragalge was cooler? I love Dragalge, so like I didn't mean for that to come off like, call off the dogs. I didn't mean it to. I feel like nobody cares about Dragalge, and a lot of people don't even like know what it is. But I mean, it's a sea dragon. If you've never seen a sea dragon, look it up. But he's made of kelp. Uh, I like again, not to sound like a broken record, but like it's Dragalge but bigger. But it's cool, I guess. The horns are kind of neat. I bet it has fucked up stats. Mega Drampa, I don't really get, but is also pretty cool. I like the how the black fur is the part that's weird to me, where it like kind of looks out of place on him, but because the rest of his body color didn't change, like just the fur changed color. But I like that it like turns into this smoky gray in the back. It makes him look kind of like it's got like a Jafar kind of vibe to him. But yeah, it has like a billowing black smoke kind of vibe to it, which is cool. Um, Maintaining dragon normal. You gotta represent the dragon normal crew. But I'd give it a boom. Not to keep using this analogy, like not analogy, but reference, I guess. But I'm positive on Mega Drampa. I feel like maybe over time I'll become more positive, but you know, it's cool. Mega Phalanx, I feel like I'm not positive on because if you really look at it, it looks like stupid as shit. However, I'm tempted to give it a boom because of the little one in the middle who's struggling to hold up the upper half. And the two on the and he's like doing a split between the two bottom ones. Like the whole central column of this design is great. The two arms where they're like just holding on to the nubs on the side with their feet is a little bit more like I don't know what you could have done with that, but like it looks kind of stupid. But generally, I'm kind of like it kind of hits, honestly. I'm kind of with it. And I bet he's also going to have fucked up stats. Not that that will matter until like because I assume like all of these are not going to be usable against another human until that like official showdown thing comes out. Um which I assume that they'll be available in and then we'll see how truly busted some of them are. Mega Barbarical, I love. Maybe that's putting it on a little strong out the gate, but I love the Hecatoncheires, which might not be how you say that, but the Hecaton are the thousand armed like Titan adjacent beings in Greek mythology. If you're an FF13 enjoyer, that's what Vanille's summon is based on, which its name I can't even remember, but it's a Hecatoncheires. Um, there's one in God of War Ascension, I think is where I first found out about them. And then looking into them, I was like, damn, these guys are cool as hell. So making Barbarical a Hecaton is awesome. And the fact that it's got like these really harsh black and orange going on, like replacing the brown with black to make it like more drastic looking, turning all the eyes red, and then the fucking he's throwing up the horns. The head, he's throwing up the horns for the devil. He loves the fucking devil. Like, it's just really cool. And the collar and stuff. The way he's standing upright, he's not all like bestial anymore. Like not that he was super bestial before, but he was kind of like like stanced up before. Let me find, where is he at? Yeah, he's kind of like he's kind of stanced up. You know what I mean? Like he looks like a fighter, but now he's like a sicko. He looks evil, and he's throwing up the horns. Yeah, I like it a lot, and the just like the him being encircled by eyes too is like, oh, it's so cool. This is definitely, I haven't even really thought about this one as much as I am right now, but like this is a banger, I think, in terms of the new wave of megas. And then Mega Zygarde, I just like, this is another one where this could be a blind spot where maybe this rules and I just don't know enough mecha. Like maybe this is a mecha blind spot for me. Where the hell did he go? Like maybe this is a reference to something that I'm not familiar with, but I think regardless of if it's a reference or not, I just don't really, I'm not really feeling it. The because the I mean, because like I said with Halucha, at the end of the day, all at the end of the day, all that matters is that it looks cool, and its body is this glowing green with the knee pads breaking it up, like in a bad way to me. Like the knee pads are like he like, it's like his body's made of jelly, and he like squatted down for a second, and then like some stuff picked up on his knees, and then the top is like this weird floating like spider shaped kind of thing, jellyfish shaped kind of thing. It's got the Aku horns going up to this big Zeppelin nuclear warhead type shit up here. And then the torch head, where like fire flames haven't really been like a thing. I guess maybe he's overflowing with power. But this kind of looks like a Pokemon Uranium, like legendary to me. Derogatory. I don't feel strongly about regular 100% Zygarde, to be fair. Like, I don't think this is a great Pokemon either. I often forget this is a Pokemon. Like, when I do Pokemon Quiz, which I do fairly frequently, I always miss this one. I've started remembering it just because I started getting annoyed that I always forgot it. But, like, I don't think about this Pokemon at all. Like, I just don't really like it at all. Um, because I also didn't play Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon when they came out, and I wasn't watching the anime, so maybe it's just because it was never put in front of me. But I like default like Gen 6 Zygarde the best, and everything else they did with it, I was kind of like, I don't care that much. And so this is kind of just an extension of like, I just don't really care. I didn't look at it and go, whoa, that's sick. And so my response is kind of just to be like, I guess that exists also. And then flow at whatever. But so then to do a quick overview, since I went longer than I thought I was gonna go. Mega Dragonite, hell yeah. Mega Victory Bell, I don't know. Mega Halucha, yeah, it's good. Mega Malamar, hell yeah. Mega Delphox, Chestnut, and Greninja, eh. Clefable, yeah, it's fine. Starmie, it's funny. Meganium, I love him. He's got such a jovial spirit. Feraligatr needs to go back to the drawing board. Skarmory, I need info request. Mega Froslass, hell yeah. Embor, I don't know. Mega Exegil, boo. Scolipede, hell yeah. Scrafty, yeah. Uh, Electros, yerp. Mega Chandelure, fine. Mega Pyroar, info request. Mega Dragalge, I keep forgetting he's here, but I love Dragalge, so I'll give him a yip, a yerp. Mega Drampaw's a yerp. Phalanx, yeah. Barbarical, hell yeah. Zygarde thinks he's part of the crew. Um, but yeah, and all that to say in conclusion, I think that, like I don't remember if I said at the beginning of the video, but I have been saying that I think we may be in a, we're in a tentative, is that how you say that word? we're in a tentative Pokemon being washed kind of territory. And what I mean by that is that I think we're at the point where we've gotten far enough away from the source material, and it's been 30 years. So, like, or like almost 30 years, if not 30 years. So like it's been a while, and it's been admirable that we've kept up pace so far, because Gen 6 or Gen 9, sorry. Gen 9 has like a lot of incredible Pokemon in it. I don't know that I would say some of them are my favorites, but even the ones that don't make any sense, like Walking Wake, like I can't deny that Walking Wake looks sick. So like it's not like they have been bad this whole time. The general like people who don't play Pokemon or haven't played Pokemon in a long time, they'll just see like, I mean, like the classic one is Garbodor. They'll see Garbodor and then be like, oh, it's a trash Pokemon. Pokemon's fucked, right? But like it's been good this whole time. This is cracks showing where it's like, and that's why I say tentative, because I'm like, when Gen 10 comes around, we'll see like what the new Pokemon look like. But it's like the whoever is doing the art now was not up to the task of creating a Mega Victory Bell. And I don't know who decided that they should do one. Like for a lot of these, I'm just like, I don't know why you picked this Pokemon. Like Hawlucha, sure, like Malamar worked out really well, but I think the ones that didn't work out super well, like Clefairy or Clefable, and like, but like for Alligator could have worked well, but like Skarmory, like a bunch of these are ones that I'm like, why would you have picked Mega Excadrill? And like, I'm not even a Mega Flygon like beggar. I don't have Twitter no more, so I'm not on there like wasting my life away complaining about how Mega Flygon doesn't exist and Mega Tropius or whatever. But for some of these, it's just like, why would you why would you do, I guess it's maybe not that many of them, but why would you do a Mega Excadrill or a Mega fucking Starmie and not like something, I guess, more deserving of it? Or like the only thing with like, because Flygon is not a pseudo legendary. I don't know if we're missing any pseudo legendary megas other than like, I guess, Baxcalibur, but Baxcalibur's new, so that doesn't really count, I guess. But they could have rounded out the pseudo legendaries, I guess. Mega Como, that would have been cool. But yeah, so that's all. Because like the misses in Gen 9 were pretty heavy misses for me. Like I don't think Meowscarada is very good. I think Quackaball might be the worst Pokemon like ever. Um so that was little cracks. These are making the cracks a little bit bigger. But the thing is that it's okay. Like it's totally fine if Pokemon designs start coming out that are not very good, because for one thing, like at the end of the day, it's toys, and you know, not to say it doesn't matter, because like it matters in an art from an artistic standpoint of like, you want it to keep being good because it's been good and because it means a lot to a lot of people. So not that it doesn't matter, but I guess we got bigger problems is how I would put it. But it's also okay because it's been a long time, man. And like, we got lots of good Pokemon. And I'm sure we'll keep getting lots of good ones, but not everything has to last forever. And so it's not like I'm not like that's why I was saying like I'm not really taking these super seriously, because it's like I've been doing this the whole time. Like I've been with Pokemon since the beginning. And so like at some point you got to like go outside and get a bag. Not specifically this bag, but uh you, like it's at a certain point it's fine. It's fine to just go like it's been a good run. Which is like, it sounds really defeatist for like it's not that serious at all. Like it's not that serious, and these aren't like that bad. Other than Pyroar and for Alligator, these aren't that bad. But just kind of preparing for the worst. I'm like, whatever. Like I've given up on Monster Hunter. Like I haven't played Wilds because it looks bad. And I guess that's the ultimate thing at the end of the day. And like I wish people would do this with Pokemon in general, because everyone's just buying. Oh, I forgot to talk about two of them. Speaking of $100, everyone's just paying $100 to play Pokemon right now, even though like this one doesn't look good. And like everyone said Scarlet and Violet didn't look good and then they bought it. And I'm like, I know that we've said this and we've done this a billion times, but like how many times are we going to do this rigmarole where the game comes out and everyone says it looks bad and then they spend $120 on it and then they go, when is it going to get better? And I'm like, brother, you're the one fucking it up. Like you keep reinforcing the behavior that you don't like. And I've been fine this whole time, except for I hate open world games, so that was my problem. Like the reason I haven't played as much Scarlet and Violet as I did every other Pokemon game is because I just hate open world games. And the open world problems, like you can't escape from them. Like open world is a bad concept. But anyway, that's not what this is about. We got to talk about these guys real quick. Finally, lastly, these ones I actually think I have the most to say about, which is why it's good that it's at the end of this hour-long video where I rambled because I thought I was done. But anyway, these are really bad, like tremendously bad. I would maybe put them like above Pyroar. I should have done a tier list for this. I didn't want to make a tier list maker though. I'm doing as little work as possible. I will never edit a video again unless I feel like it. But yeah, I would put these above Pyroar for sure, but like I don't know, they're kind of on par with Feraligatr in terms of badness. These ones were the first like that they showed where I went like, "Oh no." Because like up till then they had really like Mega Victory Bell was like the worst one they had shown, and then like this came alongside the starters and Mega Malamar, I think was how they released. And I was like riding high off Malamar. I was like, Malamar fucking owns. I hope that wherever Osohi Ghost is, because I hope Osohi is still alive as far as I know. My Pokken pal is Sohi, which you'll remember if you're a Pokken head. Um, she's just offline, but I hope wherever she is, she catches a glimpse of Mega Malamar, because that was her favorite Pokemon. But so these were really jarring coming off of that because I am a big Raichu head, and I was really excited when I heard there might be a Mega Raichu, but this the like the Dragonite and Scolipede thing of including elements of a previous evolution, I think for those two in particular was a good play. For this feels almost like disrespectful to Raichu because it feels like an excuse to make Mega Pikachu, and even so, they like fucked it up really bad. Because like for Mega Raichu X, you have Raichu's body with the big fists, which is kind of I think is fine. I know some people don't like the big fists, but I kind of like that Raichu stands like he's gonna punch your ass normally, like his normal default stance in regular Kanto Raichu is like he looks kind of punchy. So I like the punchy hands. The feet I gotta pull up because I was looking at this before. I guess they don't have them on here yet because they're like not out yet or whatever. But fucking how do I look? How do I? Hold on. Let me use Bulbapedia. My keyboard is sideways right now, and it's also wireless, so it fucked up a little. Okay, so okay, they do have them. So the feet are wrong. This is what's so confusing. The feet are not right. Like if you look at the two, I know this is small, but like Raichu's feet don't have the little like the line on the bottom. They're tan on bottom. And then Mega Raichu has got the like line there, like the brown toes and the yellow foot with the orange foot pad, which like the pad's fine, but the toes the coloring is wrong, basically. As if they like didn't look at this when they made it. I don't know. But the feet are wrong, the hands are fine. The tails are like giving them two tails is cool. Giving them two stiff ass like starched Pikachu tails, it just doesn't look right to me. Like, and also it looks like he's standing on them, which I don't think he's supposed to be, but and I guess Pikachu stood on his tail in the anime, but like the tails look out of place. They don't look like they're attached to his body. The ears are kind of like the so I'm sure you're aware of Gorochu, the concept of like from the leak, the Space World League or whatever, where it's like a there was supposed to be an evolution after Raichu that had like horns and fangs and stuff like that. And I think that's what these are also trying to do. They're trying to like bring back some of those concepts. So the ears kind of look like horns a little bit, but they're not like they're like angled outward instead of back or up because to make the X silhouette. And then they still have the little doily, the little twisty thing at the bottom, which doesn't look right because they look like horns instead of ears. And then the Pikachu coloring with the red cheeks with the yellow body on Raichu's like, you know, build. And he's kind of stumpier. He's not even like fully like long style. He's not even the long way like Raichu. Like he's got the weird hips built in, which Raichu does not have. So that I think that's why it looks really wrong to me is because it's like it's Raichu's body, but all the elements are wrong, and then like everything they added to it is like not good. It's the X is like worse. Looking at it now, it's like worse than I thought it was. And then Y is Pikachu's body with the fur is I think the long fur is the my favorite part about either one of these. I kind of like the long fur. And the blue eyes is like doesn't make any sense because like X is the blue one for one thing, but like whatever. The blue eyes look cool. It's kind of a Alolan Raichu color scheme, but it's like not at all also. Like I think that's what they were going for, but it's like not right. And then the what's it called? The circle on the tummy is like way out of place because it looks like they took it's like a smart object kind of thing. It looks like a Soul Calibur character customization sticker that they just put on his tummy. Like if you're gonna work with 3D models, like you got the power to do textures, and you could have like blurred it a little bit so it didn't look so out of place. But it is just like it's not uh, like for the Raichu X, it's sort of like wrapped around the big belly, but with this, there's no belly, so it's wrapped around nothing. So it's just like a big circle on his chest, which is distracting and weird. And then I don't think I need to like explain to nobody that like the weird ginkgo leaf antlers that do not read like lightning bolts at all and have the Raichu ear curlies even though they're not ears because the actual ears are behind the antlers. Like, what is with this weird jackalope shit? And then the tail is cool. Like, I mean, again, I wish that it wasn't Pikachu's tail on the end of Raichu's tail, but like the tail's fine. The tail's the other like okayest part about all of this. But like, man, these are just like really, really awful. And I had forgotten. Like, I literally opened this tab to talk about them, and I forgot that they're just like really not. They're really bad. And like fan art hasn't been able to save these ones for me because there's a couple like Pokemon and like other like characters from other things where their design has kind of been saved by different people drawing it, but these ones are just not good, man. I just not to dwell on it for too long, but like man. So, but yeah, I already went through my boomer doom with all this, but like I'm compelled to end on a positive note is all. So, but I'm struggling to find it. Which is dramatic. It's dramatic, but I'm definitely gonna draw Mega Froslass soon. I like it a lot. Like I said, draw Mega Froslass riding on Mega Scolipede, but there's good ones, there are bad ones. I think Pokemon is entering an era where like, you know, I mean it's been a big criticism of the series has been that they've been like too in the past, like they haven't caught up to modern times. That's been the best thing in the world for me because I don't know if anyone's noticed that modern gaming fucking sucks ass, but um like video games are just not good in general, like unless one guy in his bedroom is making them, and I'm not talking about Undertale, but like all the best games I'm enjoying are either like or all the games that I'm enjoying the most recently are either from 2006 and prior, or they're made by one guy in his bedroom, or they're made by industry veterans who like are not working on AAA games and so they're making their own games like Eartheon, Yuzo Koshiro's side projects and stuff like that. And, I'm going back to PC 88 and 98 games. I was playing Mamoru Kun Recurse, which is a modern port of a 2008 arcade shmup. Like, because all these modern game contrivances of like open world game with mini map and quest markers and just like like the Assassin's Creedification of video games and the cinematography push of like everything having to look like The Last of Us. Like I don't own a Switch 2 because the Switch 2 to me is just like it's a push for better graphics, but graphics don't make a video game. In fact, I prefer like I don't want to play another game with realistic lighting. I just have no desire to look at realistic lighting ever again. Um so but yeah, so all that stuff like modern game stuff has caught up to Pokemon, and modern like people not remembering how to draw anymore, which like I don't draw enough or well enough to really be talking too much shit. But like I was looking at some nice art of like old Fire Emblem stuff. It was like a drawing of Marth done by a manga artist back in the SNES era, I think. And I had me mad for like a whole day because I was like, what is stopping people from just drawing good anymore? Like especially for anime and manga and stuff like the late 80s early 90s style of like nice looking hair and stuff like that, like the way you Watase who drew Fushigi Yugi, and even like Obata from Death Note, like people used to draw hair good and they just don't draw hair good no more. And so now it's just like, time is moving on, the world has turned and left me behind. That's fine. But all that to say basically that I am not feeling compatible with the state of Pokemon from this point, like or from I guess kind of halfway from Scarlet and Violet's point onward. It may just be past my time, which is fine because I'm not going to be the guy who's like my kids have to love all the things I loved as a kid. Not that I'm going to have kids, but you know, like the kids don't have to love all the same shit I loved, but I think that the shit I loved is now in the past, and so I'm playing Monster Hunter Wilds came out, and I'm playing a lot of Monster Hunter Generations, and Pokemon Legends Zaza came out, and I'm playing a lot of Pokemon Gen 2 and 3 whenever I play it. Uh, so I don't know. I hope this isn't too much of a downer. I don't really know how else to end this, but I guess that's it. I don't know if I don't know if I even said anything of value through all of this, but I mean, you got to shake the rust off a little bit. It's been a while since I recorded anything, so I hope you enjoyed seeing something pop up if you're still subscribed for some reason, which I appreciate, even though I don't make anything off of any of it. But it's not about the money, it's about the art. I've been very art pilled lately. I might make more stuff, not make stuff, but record stuff. I might stream more in the future, but I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just kind of like fucking around, so. But, uh, yeah, Pokemon. Do what makes you happy and don't spend so much time on the internet complaining about things you don't like. That's what this isn't meant to be complaining any of this. This is literally just me looking at these and going, this is what I think about them. But you, I mean, not you, obviously. If you're you talking to you, like you have your shit together, surely. But other people who are not you don't have their shit together as much. Spend less time upset about things. Get You need to spend more of your time writing things off and then forgetting about them. Forgetting about them is really important because writing things off and then talking about how they're bad even though you haven't engaged with them, that's not the way to do it. The way to do it is to say I don't care about this and then do things that you do care about, and then maybe you'll come around on it later. But um if you are like sick of the if you've been spending the past couple of years complaining about the direction that Pokemon's taking while also buying the games, like go do something else with your time. And I assure you that you'll find other things you enjoy in this life. You'll find other creatures that hit the spot that the old Pokemon used to hit for you and stuff like that. But it's all gonna be okay. Even with these guys, it'll all be all right. That's all I got. Stay out of the woods, and I'll see you sometime. Goodbye.